Police in Georgia have reopened an investigation after a video involving alleged police brutality went viral and provided some new evidence in a case involving a cop who was beating a homeless woman with a baton. Now, the homeless woman is identified as Katie McCrary. However, the police official that you're about to see in this video, which is graphic, has not been identified. He is anonymous. But this took place on June 4th. And apparently the officer had gone to a Chevron station in response to a complaint about a woman begging for money. She's a homeless woman. She's at a Chevron station asking for money, which I think all of us have experienced at some point. And usually they're not dangerous people, but nonetheless, the owner of the Chevron station ended up calling the cops and things got violent. Now, the cop claims that the woman tried to push him out of the way when he arrived on the scene. And then that warranted what you're about to see.
So let me just give a tiny bit more detail there, Anna, before we go to the video. So McCrary says she attempted to push me out of the way and walk out of the door, which I would think is mission accomplished. The guy called you to get rid of her, right? And she's leaving. Boy, this feels like it could have been resolved a lot easier. And so in all these cases, I always feel like, look, it's not an easy job. I mean, you got to deal with a homeless person who's not listening to you. That is not easy. So, and he says later she tried to reach out and grab his badge, grab the vest and the radio. Now that's what he put in his report.
Right.
But you know, I'll tell you one other thing he put in his report after you watch the video.
Yeah, exactly. Let's watch the video, and then I want to give you his detailed report so you kind of see some of the inconsistencies. By the way, warning, the video is difficult to watch, so if you're uncomfortable, you should look away now.
Hey, Kay, stop resisting, stop resisting, stop resisting, stop resisting.
Stop it! You're on your stomach! You're on your stomach!
Stop resisting!
You're on your stomach! You're on your stomach! Put your hands behind your back! Put your hands behind your back!
Just stop!
Put your hands behind your back!
Stop!
Stop, Katie. Stop,
Stop
Katie.
resisting, Kay. Stop resisting. Stop resisting,
Put your hands
Kay.
behind your back.
Put your hands behind your
Let it
back,
go, I'm gonna
Kay.
shoot you. Let it go, I'm gonna shoot you.
No,
Let
please,
it go, I'm gonna
don't shoot
you.
him.
Put your hands behind your back.
Put your hands behind your back, Kay. Stop it
Put your
now.
hands behind your back.
I am
Put your hands behind your back.
What did I do? What did I do?
All right. So I should note that she does have a mental illness. It's unclear what that mental illness is exactly, but a local news station spoke to a dozen individuals in the area who are familiar with her, who know her. They all said that she wasn't a problem, she never posed any type of risk, and she did have a history of mental illness. She is homeless, and again, she was there asking for money. Now,
guys, look. It's super tough to deal with a mentally ill homeless person. Nobody's saying it's easy. But you just saw that video, man. I don't know. I couldn't do that. Could you beat a mentally ill woman like that? She said she was gonna leave. You know, did he feel like that was a disrespect of his authority? I don't know what the station manager asked him to do. Did he ask for her to be arrested? I don't know. But you would think that, hey, she's bothering people asking for money. She says she's leaving, great, wonderful. We could have left it at that. I can't stomach doing that to somebody, let alone a mentally ill person. I mean, if they were gonna cause violence on others, I get it, man, that's what cops are for, right? But a mentally ill woman who is not listening to your orders, you couldn't figure out, like you thought what? Like she's disrespecting you? Not everything is disrespect. People are different, and if they called you because she's not able to respond to those requests, there might be a reason for that. Don't we do any training in this country? Yes, there are mentally ill people. Yes, some percentage of homeless people are mentally ill. No, the correct answer is not beating the living crap out of them.
So maybe I missed something, because I was under the impression that a cop can only open fire on someone who poses an imminent threat, right? And he said in that video very clearly, and he got a response from the people that were there, put your hands behind your back or I'm going to shoot you. And then two people were like, no, please don't shoot her. Don't. why are you going to shoot her? Like, is she posing a threat to you? And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's not the policy. Maybe the new policy is if someone's annoying you and isn't listening to your orders in the fashion that you think is appropriate, then you get to open fire.
By the way, if you shoot and kill someone, that could be murder. But if you threaten to shoot someone, that's already a crime. That's an assault. Now, if
Not
you're
for cops.
Yeah. Now, if you said that to a cop, you'd definitely be arrested. Hey, don't do X, otherwise I'm going to shoot you. Right? That's assault, and even if you never pulled a gun or anything like that. Now, cops got a job where they have to threaten violence sometimes. I know that it's slightly different rules, but it can't be that if you're under no imminent threat at all. Like, nobody thought that woman was somehow magically going to kill the cop, right? So threatening to kill her or shoot her, which would kill her, certainly could, is assault. Let alone the other obvious assault that's happening on the tape.
So this video is new, which is why officials have decided to reopen the investigation into this case. They had already decided that he had done no wrongdoing and they wanted to move on. But this video went viral and they're like, okay, well, we have new evidence. We have to look at this again. Now, I want to give you the details of the police report that this unidentified cop had filed, so you kind of have a sense of his side of the story and what he believed happened. So in the incident report dated June 5th, a day after this took place, the officer said, when he arrived at the gas station, McCrary attempted to push me out of the way and walk out the door. More words were exchanged and McCrary reached out and grabbed my badge. And after being warned not to touch him, she, quote, grabbed my vest and radio, according to his incident report. He said he used his baton on her legs, forearms, and one strike inadvertently struck the side of her head as she was moving around. So that was his take. I think it's a little different from what we saw in the video, but again, I mean, it's being investigated. We'll see how it turns out, but it's an internal affairs investigation. And I mean, we have some precedent on how things like that turn out.
And in this case, we also have a quote from the DeKalb County Police Department. They said in a statement after watching the video, quote, the narrative in the officer's report appears to be consistent with the video.
Yeah.
So now, to be fair, he didn't say he inadvertently struck her. He said he inadvertently struck her head. But the rest of it was not inadvertent. It was very clear what he was doing. And look, it's not just about that this guy's a bad guy. That's too easy an explanation. And I don't even know that he's a bad guy. I mean, I know that this was a bad act. I do know that the training is don't ever let anyone disrespect you. And so in reality, what they need to do, and some police departments across the country are doing this, is bring in mental health experts. So yes, it's gonna take longer, it's gonna take a bigger part of your day. But hey, I need backup in this case, and the backup is not more forces to get even more violent. I need someone who's a trained professional who can come and help me deal with this person who is clearly mentally ill, rather than my way of dealing with him, which is what I've been taught. Unfortunately, most of the police departments in the country is take out a baton and beat the crap out of them until they are made to listen to you. And those are the cases where they don't get shot.